I'm back, and it is a very, very, very special episode. It's a very, very special video because last week we celebrated one year on YouTube, and I thought it would be fun to do a Q&A with you guys and answer some of the frequently asked questions that I get on my videos, as well as new questions that you guys had for me. So I'm going to be answering those today while I get ready. I had this idea to put up some of the stats that we currently have on this channel. So I'll go ahead and put those up, and then we will compare these every year as long as I'm doing YouTube. That'd be kind of fun. So a year ago when I started this channel, I was in a pretty, how shall I say?
I wasn't in a good place.
Mentally. So why not start a YouTube channel, right? I found a lot of joy watching people on YouTube, and I found that I really, this is gonna sound creepy, but you know, watching some of my favorite YouTubers, I almost felt like they were friends. However, there wasn't anyone that I really watched at the time that struggled with mental illness. You know, they were very productive type people, or at least that's what they present on YouTube, you know, because YouTube is not reality, FYI. But, you know, they presented themselves as productive people. While I loved them and I enjoyed watching them, I felt like I really couldn't relate. I am like a type A person with a body that won't let me do all the things that I want to do.
Thank you, depression.
I will say with the start of this channel, I have gotten so much better. And if you've been with me since about April, you know that I recently had a hysterectomy. This is gonna get real personal. And that helped a lot with my symptoms. So it's probably hormonal related, and my hormones have started to level out, and I've had more energy, and I've been feeling a lot better. And you know, but unfortunately I always wait for the pin to drop and for things to change and go back to the way that they were. So we just take the good days while we have them. One of the questions that was asked was, how come I do not post every week? And while I do post at least once a week, there are weeks that go by where I don't post at all. One thing y'all should know is that I homeschool. I run an embroidery design business. That is my main source of income. YouTube is not quite yet my main source of income. I would like for it to be, because I look at this channel sort of like a ministry, and I would love to sell my other business and make this my full time, but you know, we'll see what God has in store. I digressed on that. The main reason I don't post, or the one thing that keeps me back from posting, is, you know, it tends to be on weeks that we have a lot going on and I'm just unable to film. But there is an element of when you have a creative job, and this goes for my embroidery business too, because I'm like a graphic designer for embroidery. So I create the embroidery designs that people can load up on their machines and sew out. That's the basic description. It's always hard to explain what I do. So when you have a creative job, you know, doing art or, you know, creating videos, if you're in a valley in your depression, it's pretty hard to pull yourself together. And unfortunately, right now, YouTube is the first thing, well, the first thing to go to the wayside is the condition of my house. The second thing is YouTube. I always try and keep homeschooling a priority. Prayed and prayed and prayed about starting this channel. God really placed it on my heart, honestly. You know, like I said, I was in a pretty bad spot, and something said,
you know, Tina, why don't you start a channel?
And I said, God, I'm already homeschooling. I already have this thing going on.
I don't know if I can take on one more thing.
And God reminded me that He is the source of my strength and my energy and all that, and I have to trust Him. Over the last year, y'all have validated that, and it's really cool how God works. I mean, things are changing. Look at my room. I honestly did not clean my room for this video. Things are changing over here, and that comes with cleaning my space and cleaning my mind. We need to add some color back into this face. While we're on the topic of starting this channel, one of the questions I got is, what does the name of my channel mean? Leaf.Like.On.A.Tree. And it's actually kind of a cute story. When we were talking about starting a channel, we didn't really know what it was going to be. I knew it was going to be cleaning related because I always found it interesting and motivating watching other people clean their homes. And I just wanted to be another option out there, honestly. So I kind of knew it would be like that. I kind of hoped I could do some vlogs too, but as I learn more on YouTube, it's important that you stick to a niche and you don't deviate too much from that. Anyway, Leaf.Like.On.A.Tree came from Grace. If you haven't watched Grace's Declutter Makeover, you gotta go watch it because you get a little peek of Grace. She's a little YouTuber in the making, but we were tossing around names and she goes,
how about Leaf.Like.On.A.Tree?
And I was like, that's it, that's it. I knew it was it the moment I heard it because our last name is Leaf, if you haven't put that one together. Anytime we say our last name, people say Lee, Leafs, or Lees.
People don't hear leaf.
It's probably my accent, I don't know. So we always say it's
Leaf.Like.On.A.Tree.
And so when she said that, I was like, that's it. That's gonna be the name of it. Leaf.Like.On.A.Tree. And it just stuck. Let's go ahead and carve out these brows. This makes such a difference when you're doing your eyebrows. All I'm doing is taking a little concealer and just really defining that underline. Sometimes I'll do the top too, but if I'm just doing a basic look, I just do the underline. All right, next question. What does Steven do for a living? Before I answer, I want you to pause this video, comment down below what you think he does for a living. Steven used to have a really good job for a major roofing company here in Texas. He was a division manager, all that. But recently, over the summer, they had a lot of restructuring going on, and unfortunately, he lost his job. So he has taken the opportunity to pursue one of his dreams. Anyway, he is currently enrolled in seminary school. He wants to pursue a job in ministry. And he will probably start, you know, helping people with roofs while he gets through school, that he can bring in a little bit of money.
Because Mama don't make that much.
He's hoping, though, to find a job in ministry while he's in school. Sometimes you can find ministry jobs that will hire you even though you're still in school. He was actually a missionary kid, and his dad wasn't in the same type of ministry that he wants to go into. And so he's always been raised in the church and has all of the knowledge and Bible knowledge. He has a personal relationship with God. He's, you know, he has his testimony. You know, I always say, God does not call the equipped, he equips the called. So that's what he's working on now. So we just gotta be patient. He helps me a lot with homeschooling and this channel, as you know.
We all love Steven on this channel.
And I love Steven. We've been married for 13 years, together for 16. While we're on the topic of Steven, one of the most common observations we get on the channel is
Steven needs to put on shoes.
I'm not gonna give you a close-up on his feet. Just imagine hobbit feet. This guy goes everywhere barefooted, everywhere. Unless he's going to a public place, he's walking up and down the street barefoot on the phone. He's mowing the yard barefoot. I have been married to him long enough that
He's just not gonna wear shoes.
and he has the calluses to protect his feet. So he's like, I don't know. He's just a caveman. I don't know how else to explain it. A lot of our kids are pretty much following that example. So if you see Steven working barefoot, just know he's okay. If he loses a toe, it's it was the risk he was willing to take. It's just one of those nuances that you just gotta accept about somebody. The next question is, has the bathroom drawer been fixed? If you haven't seen that video, it's right here. Literally while we were decluttering the bathroom, that drawer just fell apart. It was so funny. I'll put a clip of that here. I'm so mad right now because it literally fell apart in Steven's hand.
Right after you said nothing's going as it should, or as planned.
Right after I hit the stop recording button. Oh, bummer. He was going to fix it. We have all the pieces. It has not been fixed. I'm gonna see when that video was posted. 7 months ago.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Steven.
Anyway, I'm probably gonna end up fixing it myself, and I've always taken more of an interest in fixing things up and refinishing things and building things and all that. Steven just does not get the same dopamine hit I do doing those types of projects. So I'll probably end up doing it, and it's fine. He helps out in a lot of other ways.
We'll let him slide on this one.
Someone asked, how much stuff do we think we've decluttered over the past year? And truckloads, and even more truckloads of trash, to be honest. It's probably equal trash to what we've donated. Someone else asked, what's the one thing that you learned decluttering? And that is, it's an ongoing process. So I thought once I would hit every room in this house, that was it. I'd be done and life would be easier. And while part of that's true, we have not stopped bringing in stuff, and we weren't as ruthless as I feel like we needed to be in some of the rooms. Some of the, like the garage, we've done really, really well keeping up. I've been able to park my car in the garage all summer, just like I wanted. The laundry room, we decluttered and made that room over, and having that space that just makes you smile when you walk in has helped keep me wanting it looking nice. So it has made things easier, but it hasn't necessarily solved all of our problems yet either. I think we still have a ways to go on getting rid of stuff, and I think we'll get there. I'm kind of concerned that the day we stop having stuff to declutter, I won't have a channel, because those are the videos that y'all like. I say we got at least another round in most of the rooms. When I go through each room, it's not going to be as bad, and you know, there's some systems, just like in the master closet, we've already done round 2 in that one, and it wasn't as bad as the first time. So, and we didn't have to hit all the areas. You know, we really just focused on the systems that weren't working, and we fixed those. But decluttering has definitely made things so much easier to manage. So much easier, and it's taken less time to manage as well, and really getting to a point that, like, it's just peaceful. It's just peaceful. I've always struggled with keeping a clean house. Looking back, I had way too much stuff. Like, it just was an impossible task to keep things clean. If you struggle with that, I highly suggest focusing on just decluttering. Let your house go to the wayside. Just focus on going from room to room and decluttering, and it's gonna look worse before it gets better, but
I promise it gets better.
And that's one thing I wish I knew before decluttering, because I think I would have been a lot kinder to myself starting out. I was really overwhelmed starting out, and I was really kicking myself like,
why did I start a decluttering channel? This is way too much work.
That's another reason why I only post a video, because a lot of what I post takes me several days to film, and we, just like you, have to find the time to work on these projects, and sometimes they take several days, if not the whole week. My kids are still young and need me a lot for homeschooling, but hopefully as they get older, you know, they won't need me so much. We've been homeschooling now, this is our 3rd year. We started it, thankfully, right before the world shut down, so we were already in the homeschool groove. And it has just really been a blessing for our family. And it's given me more time with my kids. Like, I don't ever have to look back and think,
wow, I didn't have enough time.
Because I have all the time I'm allotted. You know, it's allowed us to really focus on their strengths and help them in their weaknesses. And it's just been a really good thing for us. We did it out of necessity because the year we moved here, 2018, that was another question. We've lived in this house since 2018. We made a big move to this area, and it was when Steven first started this roofing job, and he was traveling around Texas doing storm damage. That year there was one big hurricane, and his company, you know, Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Sorry, Steven called and now I've forgotten my complete train of thought. Anyway, in 2017, our family just went through a lot of changes, in a nutshell. We bounced from our parents' house to parents' house while Steven was away. Then we had something major happen. I'm not quite ready to share that yet, but we had a lot going on. It was a tough year. It was, maybe one of these will share that testimony, but we've been through a lot together. And this is not blending. I have hooded eyes, so it's very difficult to get a wing, and this technique has really helped me figure it out. It's kind of like a smoky wing. I should have started a beauty channel. If only I knew what I was doing. I just like to play. So with all the changes, that's the reason we started homeschooling. One of our children really suffered in school because of it. I was at home. I had the ability to homeschool her. I could give her the attention she needed. We took the other child out just because we were already in the mix. We set ourselves free from the public school demands, and we haven't looked back. I don't know if I will always homeschool. I never considered myself a stay-at-home mom, because I've always had ideas and dreams and all that. And I certainly would have never considered myself a homeschool mom.
But here we are.
It's funny how you have plans for your life and God laughs. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I love the time that I have with my children, and I wouldn't change a thing. I would not change a thing. Being a stay-at-home mom, being a homeschool mom is my first priority in life. But if things and situations change, you know, I tell my girls, you know, we just take it year by year. When they get to high school, you know, we may put them back in high school, because when you homeschool in high school, you have to keep a lot of records here in Texas so that you can keep a transcript, so that when they go to apply for colleges and all that, you have those records. But that's kind of one thing that I'm nervous about when they get to high school, because I don't know if I'm organized enough to keep track of everything like that. All right, last question. What is my hope for my channel in the future? While I struggle with depression and anxiety and the things I struggle with, I can be a light for somebody who also struggles. And I can show that it's okay to have a messy house. My hope is that it helps somebody, and that I'm not doing this all in vain, because I'm certainly not doing it for the money. Fun fact, you don't make a whole lot of AdSense. This is like way out of my comfort zone. This is a God thing. And I'm naturally introverted, believe it or not. Like, if you came up with me in the street and you see me, I'm extremely awkward. I don't know what to say. I clam up. Like, it's just who I am. But it's funny how God works. God has always placed young moms on my heart. Because when I was a young mom, and the people that showed up and loved on me made the biggest difference in my life. And I've always said that when I'm out of the young mom stage, which I'm almost there. Oh gosh. I'm not quite as young anymore, but oh, goodness, always right at the end, that my ministry would be young moms. Because there's two types of people out there. When you're a young mom, there are the people that understand and love you and don't judge you for your imperfections. And then there's people out there that have advice to give on how to do better. And not always the most loving way. One reason I started this channel, it was right after I started homeschooling. Here I have depression that's hard enough to get out of bed. I've taken on homeschooling in addition to my job. And I finally broke down and said, I'm going to hire a cleaning lady. And so I hired somebody who was a friend that I did Bible studies with. And I told her my situation. I said, listen, I'm really struggling to clean house and I just need help. I just need help. And she was with me for a few months, and then I noticed her demeanor started to change. She just started to be sharp-tongued. Like she would tell my kids,
you owe me $5 because I picked up your toys. Or you owe your mom $5 because I picked up your toys.
and I was like, okay, that's weird. If there was ever a room that was like beyond messy, because I get it, they're here to like do the surface cleaning and you got to maintain the spaces. Like you got to keep things picked up and off the surfaces and all that so they can come in and clean it and wipe it down. And sometimes I just wasn't able to do that. And if there was ever a space that was like that, I'd say, you know what, just don't even worry about that room. And I thought she understood my situation, but I think it really affected her because she wasn't able to do her job fully. And maybe she felt like she was failing me and she wasn't. But instead of communicating with me, things just got ugly. And she said some things that reinforced the negative voices in my head about myself. I wasn't good enough. I couldn't keep up house. I was, you know, a horrible mom because of it. And why can't I do better? You know, this isn't normal. You're not normal, Shannon. You should be doing better. Yeah, she reinforced those loud and clear. You know, I was willing to pay more because I know that our house was in pretty bad shape, and you know, it really sucks because I needed the help. It still hurts, and it's been a few years. You know, this was somebody that I trusted and I let into my home and I let see the mess, and I was reaching out for help and I got burned. And it hurt. And I've had other voices like that in my life, not quite that bad. Well-meaning voices that just reinforce the negative voices in my head. But that was one time like I just crumbled because of that. My intention is not to have a messy home. I want a clean space because a clean space brings me peace. So when my home is messy, it's just simply because things have gotten out of control. When I started this channel, it was to be a voice that it is okay. It is okay. When you are struggling mentally, if you have a lot going on in your life, it's okay to have a messy house. You work on it when you can. If that's a goal of yours, maybe it's not even a goal of yours. It doesn't matter. It's okay. As long as your kids are healthy and happy, and if you need help, well, I can't even take that advice. Because if I ever need help again, I don't know if I could ever reach out. It burned me so bad. But I'm gonna cry. That's been one of the gifts of this channel for me that I didn't know would be. You guys in the comments saying that you struggle with the same thing and that you appreciate seeing the real side of, you know, daily struggles. You know, it's not a curated home, if you will. You know, I've always considered myself domestically challenged, but I've also placed value on other things, like spending time with my family. But y'all guys have sat there and made me feel normal. You've made me feel normal. It fires me up to keep going. And so for that, I thank you. My hope for this channel is simply that I hope we can continue this. I hope we can continue this relationship. I hope that we can reach other people that need to hear this message. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I had another viewer ask, where do I get my shirts? If you notice in my video, I like to wear inspirational t-shirts that just have positive messages on them and encouraging messages on them. I get them all over the place, but this one in particular, which is probably the one I get the most comments on, I get it from Love and Faith. They're probably my favorite shop to purchase from. I also get some of my shirts from, I think it's called Crazy Threads. My mom will buy me shirts. I have a friend on Instagram. Her name's Tamara Straight, and she runs a monthly shirt that supports charities. And so sometimes I'll buy that one. Love and Faith is probably where I shop the most, and I actually was able to get a code from them and be an ambassador, if you will. I'll put that down in the comments if you want to shop them. I will be honest and say sometimes you can find better codes for them, so you don't have to use my code. But if you like the shirt, go check them out. I think that about covers it. I have a feeling this is going to be kind of a long video. I'm sorry, but I certainly appreciate you for everything this past year. If you haven't joined our channel, I'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button. At the very least, hit that like button. We are excited for the whole next year of decluttering and cleaning, and who knows what else. Y'all are so amazing. I'm so grateful for you. Do me a favor and go look yourself in the mirror and say something kind. It can be anything. I'm so thankful that you were here. And let's see what the next year brings. I picked out some videos here for you. If you've missed some of our decluttering videos over the last year, I'll put that playlist here, as well as other videos I think you might be interested in. Y'all take care.